South Africans brace themselves for another week of revelations about police capture and political capture. We speak to Professor DQ Mabunda. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, Chris, and good morning to the listeners.
Cody from Paul has sold multiple vehicles to We Buy Cars. Suspicious? I think so.
Is that a crime?
No. Where are you getting the cars?
I buy them and I sell them at the spot like a normal person.
Okay.
No, man, I'm just an accounting student. I know a good deal when I see one.
That's Excel meant. What's more stressful, tax season or selling a car at We Buy Cars?
Tax season, obviously.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Now, Professor, you lecture in police practice at the School of Law at UNISA University, but you were also a police officer once. Please tell us about your background.
Thank you, Chris. I joined the police in 1986 after matriculation, and I worked in different divisions in the police. I spent much of my time at the criminal record centers in Gauteng, Germiston, Kempton Park, provincial office in Parktown, and I finished my career in the police working at division training at the head office, where I was dealing with the training of officers in various provinces. But as I indicated, my career was spent at the Criminal Record Center doing forensics and related stuff. And I was also trained internationally in Los Angeles, UK, by the FBI and the International Law Enforcement Agency in Botswana, Gaborone.
Well, sir, then you can speak to us both from a practical point of view as well from a theoretical and academic view. Sir, what do you make of the evidence that has thus far been led at, firstly, the Matlanga Commission?
Thank you, Chris. We have had an opportunity to listen to various witnesses in both the Matlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee in Parliament. And a lot of things have come to the surface which we would not necessarily be privy to know, but thanks to General Mkhwanazi, who on the 6th of July stood out and said enough is enough. I don't know, in Afrikaans they say hard for. So it was enough with the corruption that was taking place under his nose. And we can be thankful as a country because you can imagine a low-ranking officer trying to stand out and speak up against corruption. He or she would have been sanctioned or even suspended. But we thank General Mkhwanazi for what he has come out to tell the society, that there is a rot somewhere, and it's a good opportunity for us to identify that rot and fix it and move ahead as a developing country.
Professor, do you think the South African police force, as it stands now, can still be reformed, or is it too late for that?
It can be reformed, but it will take some time. It will take political will. It will take determination. It will also require good leadership, not cadre deployment, because one of the things that have messed up the SAPS and other institutions in South Africa is placing people in positions or strategic positions while they do not have a clue what is happening there. And it requires a person some time to acclimatize to the situation. But before they can do that, you find that they are shifted from that position to another position. So that's why there is problems. And we hope that good leadership that is here in South Africa will be identified and placed in positions of responsibility in the SAPS. Then we shall have hope that we will move ahead as a country. But as things stand, as you have seen, Chris, high-ranking officers accusing each other of various things. So it is impossible that those officers will be able to work together trying to repeal the SAPS.
It's become obvious that there is this dark triad of cartel bosses, corrupt cops, and captured politicians, and that has to be broken. How can it be done?
Yeah, Chris, at this stage, all of these things that we're hearing are still going to be tested. They are regarded as allegations. But once they have been proven, individuals that are involved in these issues have to face the might of the law. And we are hopeful that these two structures, the Madlanga Commission and the Ad hoc Committee, will come up with strong recommendations that will assist all of us to move ahead. But what I've seen with other commissions of inquiries in this country is that they are all good commissions of inquiries and they make good recommendations. Those recommendations are still to be implemented. Let me give you an example, Chris, of the Zondo Commission. He gave good recommendations that if at least half of them would be implemented, then we will be in a position to see progress.
Talking about accountability, in China, when officials are convicted of corruption and collusion with criminal syndicates, they are executed. But here we get excited if somebody actually gets arrested. We look at the Tembisa hospital looting kingpin, whose assets have been confiscated, but he's not arrested. Not even.
I think you are raising a good issue, Chris. In South Africa, I don't know if we don't understand this thing called democracy. Let us look at the criminal justice system, the way they are operating. You look at the asset forfeiture unit going all out, telling the public that we are confiscating the proceeds of crime. Why do you confiscate the proceeds of crime and not arrest the people that you found with this material that you say they are stolen? That boggles the mind. I do not understand. Maybe it's the public stand by these institutions, because you cannot go to a house and say, I confiscate everything because I suspect they are stolen, but you leave me intact. So who has stolen these things? And this is my house. These are my cars. Why are they not going to court? So I think the problem is, in this country, we have good policies, we have got good systems, but when it comes to implementing these, it's not happening.
And meanwhile, poor and starving people have to read how a looting kingpin buys a car for 52 million rand, how a murder mastermind has 2.5 million to bribe his way out of jail to get bail. Surely, at some point, the people are going to say, hurtful. We are hurtful too.
Yeah, we are hoping that it will not reach that stage. But we can blame some of us for continuously voting for same parties that we are complaining about all the time after the elections. So who is to blame? We have the government that we deserve, but it is about time that when we see things happening that we are not willing to see happening to our children, we do something about it. Because if we don't do that, our children will have no inheritance when we are no more. And it is the right time now that we say we want to put systems in place that will prepare the future of our children.
And Professor, what systems would you like put in place as a priority?
Yeah, I was listening to the former Minister of Police, General Cadre, when he was saying he suggests that a structure, a body which will deal with corruption similar to the Scorpions must be reinstituted. That will bring some hope. And also the vetting of officials who are holding strategic positions should be one of the key priorities. you don't just appoint a person and you have not checked their background. For example, you cannot appoint a person without ethical clearance to head an institution where finances will be his or her key responsibility. So, as I indicated in my intro, Chris, we have enough leadership in this country, but unfortunately, those leaders are not given an opportunity to lead this country. So, my hope is that there will be a clean out of the whole criminal justice system. You know, one of the concerning issues was that General Cadre said most of the crime is organized from the prison. And that is clear. You can go to prison today, you will confiscate a lot of contraband that is not supposed to enter that space. But we know that the prison officials are not well paid, so it is easy for them to be captured by prisoners and start working for them instead of working for the government.
Any last thoughts going forward, Professor?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. We are looking forward to all the other witnesses that will be testifying in these commissions, and hopefully something will be done to correct the wrongs that have been identified, and wrong elements will be taken out of the system, and rebuilding or reform of these institutions, especially the criminal justice system, will begin as soon as possible. But if these recommendations are regarded as just recommendations, then we are doomed as a country. But hopefully, the men and women of integrity in this country will stand out and say, we will not allow corrupt officials to rule this country.
Indeed. Thank you. Professor DQ Mabunda speaking to BizNews. I'm Steyn. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chris.